So this is going to be a really short video. I'm sick, I've got no voice, and my first thing I shot, forgot to turn the volume on my new mic, so it had no volume, so I have to reshoot, and I'm going to just boil it down to the two main things I'm really conflicted about. So I watched Narcos, Mexico, and I loved the setting, but I also felt like they didn't fully do it justice, and also I liked the anti-hero Felix that we followed in some ways, and in other ways I didn't. So the setting, it was so cool how they connected it with the ruling party in Mexico. Now this party, I thought it was called PRI, but it's called PRI. They were in power in Mexico, I think it was like 80 years or something, and when Canadians, Americans might think of Mexico, they think of a lawless kind of anarchy, but Mexico was for many years more like China. It was one party state, where this one party had complete control over the media, there was censorship, had complete control over the police, had propaganda, these very beautiful murals from people that just had this love of this party and such faith in it. And it was very interesting how they connected that with this cartel that formed. And you think of a cartel, it's just a bunch of powerful players all agreeing to kind of abide by some basic rules. No one gets too rich compared to the other people, but everyone should be able to get very rich. Everyone abides by these rules. The drugs keep flowing, the money keeps flowing, kind of similar to a one-party state. And they kind of connected these things very explicitly. One of my favorite moments was when they're having the police meeting, the DEA, who are trying to catch these cartel guys, and they're saying, well, it's good, arrests are up, violence is down. And the other guy says, no, you idiot, that just means that they've bought even more cops now to cook the books and, jigger the numbers. So it was just great at exploring this kind of corruption and connecting it to this ruling party that, again, ruled Mexico for 80 years, and most people will never hear of it. So it's just interesting to bring attention to that. What I didn't like is I feel like they didn't flesh out Mexico, the culture, the ordinary people, just the families of these cartel members. They focused a little too much on just the major players and not enough on the surrounding life. And I'll compare it to The Godfather. I don't think it's unfair because I think it called the guy El Padrino the Godfather explicitly, and they also held up the Godfather at one point. So in The Godfather, rightly or wrongly, you watch it and you feel like you're getting a glimpse of Italian culture, and you're seeing this other way of life and these big extended families, and you really feel like it's part of Italian culture. Rightly or wrongly, you could say it's stereotypes. Here, I don't think you could watch this and say it's part of Mexican culture. You really got an eye into like ordinary life, this different kind of families, and what kind of leads to this systems of patronage and loyalty and blood. So I feel like it was a bit of a missed opportunity in that respect. And then also our main anti-hero Felix, in some ways I really liked him because he was quiet, he was calm, he was respectful, and probably a realistic portrayal of what it would take for someone to kind of unite all these different characters and all these different criminals into this one cohesive organization. So it's probably a more realistic portrayal than someone that's more, flamboyant and more charismatic. But on the other hand, you missed, and I'll compare it to Scarface as well because they explicitly brought up Scarface. With Scarface, it's this relatable character because you just saw his just love for life and his just desire for adventure and his desire to live the high life. You kind of understood why he was doing what he's doing. He just seemed to just love life so much and just love adventure, just want to be a big shot so much. With Felix here, you didn't really understand why he had this he would talk about empire and his desire, but you didn't understand like where did this desire come from? And again, realistic, because probably the real person that this is based on, he probably didn't have some neat and tidy, traumatic childhood event that forever changed him and forever gave him this ambition. No, his ambition was probably unexplainable and just came out of nowhere. So again, it was realistic, but sometimes you just kind of felt like there was nothing there, and at the center was just this kind of just ruthless, calm, quiet, collected, criminal, but you never really got to see what made him tick, which again has its ups and downs. And on the other hand, if you didn't want to make him Scarface and you wanted to make him more like Michael in The Godfather, as just this cold, clinical, calculating businessman / gangster, do a better job of showing his ruthlessness and showing his intelligence and kind of showing his rise. That was what was so cool about The Godfather. You see Michael and you see him starting out very green, very timid, and you see his first kill. You see him slowly starting to grow into this role and slowly start to relish it and show that he's really perfectly cut out for this and perfectly suited for this. And you really saw that growth, and then you saw the fall. I don't think we got as good a picture of just how why was this guy able to do what no one else was able to do, and why, I guess mild spoiler here, so turn it off if you don't, why when he eventually wasn't in charge of this cartel anymore and tried to divvy it up between all these different cartels and tried to carve out this kind of system that we could all continue working together, it didn't work. And now we see Mexico today, all the cartels, just lawlessness and violence and chaos. So why was he uniquely suited to kind of bring all these people together? And I feel like we didn't really get an answer. You saw, yeah, he was smart and he was calm and he was controlled and he was respectful. We didn't really see that that intangible quality that just would give someone the ability to do this. But again, maybe I'm wanting it to be more of a story, and maybe in real life there was no quality. He was just in the right place at the right time, had a few specific skill sets, and there was no secret ingredient that made him able to unite. I'm gonna stop there. I just have no voice. I'm sorry. I know it's not my best video, but I really did want to put something out, just kind of break the cycle of not doing videos. But yeah, it's all good. I've just been working a ton, but I got nice camera, the nice mic, nice computer is in the mail. I had to order the new Mac Mini, so I should be able to really do my edits now because I'll have a good computer. So getting settled in a better routine at work, so I should be able to start making content again really soon.